What's up, tribe? Thank you for being here and welcome to my channel. Today's post is titled Personality and Essence. And as it is a dialogue between Matias and his higher self, I'd be referring to Matias as me and his higher self as I am. Me. From my center, a light was projected everywhere, expanding in the rays of my heart. Each beat pumped out blood of light, pink and blue. Through each arm, they found their way out through my hands, dividing into smaller colored rays, which emerged from my fingers like soft spotlights. My hands were in front of my face, like an open book. The palms of the same ones had written my stories, everything I was, what I am and will be, what I did, do, and will do, traced in the lines that intersect like a fabric or strange language. In the same way, the light projected by my fingers mixed, creating patterns of a beautiful and expanding grid, growing wider as they moved away from me. I felt like a weaver, who by moving his fingers gently stretched the webs of light. He could also seem like a puppeteer from the vision of someone who feels imprisoned by the light, who moves the reins of history and reality. And yet, for me, his sweet sensation was that of an exciting harp that emitted the fullest music. Silent that I might have heard. I felt each string intertwine, playing something even more beautiful. And although some of them tightened, they only made me see the contrast and complement of the melody. I felt that I was all that was being projected, and I felt peace. They only had to show me the contrast and complement of the melody. I am the essence of the personality. Me, yes, I realized that. When I sat on the pyramid, I asked myself, what will be today's topic? And those two words came out suddenly as he looked deep inside the sarcophagus. And then, as I sat down, when I saw and felt all of this, the information started to open up, and it was clear. For humans, personality is what defines us in this world. It is what makes us show ourselves to others. We define individuals precisely by their personality, which is the quality of being a person. But we also usually say the personality is just a mask, something not real, that we invent to interact with the outside, something that opposes what we really are, the essence. Then we get tired of holding a personality. We begin to search inside for the essence, what one really is, without masks. And that's when we discover this spiritual path towards the essence, towards the being, trying to flee from the personality, from what we consider the ego. But not so, is it? I am. Personality comes from the Greek term personae, which means mask. As we said once, it refers to the mask used in Greek theaters that allowed people to be heard from afar, as well as allowing the public to identify from a great distance the emotion the character was expressing. Thus, the capabilities of the mask were to show the qualities of a human, the attributes with which he expressed himself to the world. You can also relate person with to sound from Latin. That is a tool to make yourself heard. Thus, the mask that an individual puts on is the one that allows them to communicate something internal in the external world, to be heard, recognized, that they can see me from afar and know who I am. Me. This is why we usually say, let's take off our masks. This is a character. And other similar phrases with saying that everything is actually a pantomime. It is a falsehood. Who's behind the mask? Or it hides behind the mask. We usually think when we want to refer to that, what it shows is not what it is. And yet, we usually criticize those who remove the mask, saying, "You have changed your personality. I no longer recognize you. You're not the one from before." And those unavoidable perceptions of people who were used to the mask. So, in the end, what are people really looking for? I am. They look for the essence, but many confuse essence with personality. And the reason is simple. Essence comes from the word essentia, meaning in Latin quality of being, as it arises from the verb esse, which in turn comes from the contraction es of the Greek root etymos, which means true. If personality is considered a mask, something false, then the being, the essential, will be the true. Me. I have heard many times that the essence is related to something subtle, as if it were a kind of perfume of the soul. So it is not that, but it is something much more conceptual. I am. It is the capacity or quality of simply being, with nothing more to add. A flower is a flower, period. The personality of the flower will be its colors, its petals, its shapes, its patterns, its pistils, its medicinal qualities, its size. But when you look at all the details, sometimes you forget that it was a flower. Now think of an extreme example. A young man in the park, laughing out loud, being watched by a rapist, looking for him as his victim. What do they have in common? Me. The essence? I am. What is the essence? Me. The spirit that connects everything? Me. It is much simpler. Essence is what is. A flower is a flower. It can be a daisy or a carnivore. Me. Human. They're both human. I am. Good. They're both human. In their interior, then, they have the qualities of every human. None of them is missing. They are all, because they simply are. Now, their paths have decorated their forms, the way they express themselves in the world, their falsehoods. Perhaps the young man who laughs in the park laughs to cover a very great pain of something he did or hides from his family. And the rapist carries that mental pathology for exactly the same reason. A painful trauma in his childhood. Both have managed it differently. They are different people. One laughs while hiding something. The other rapes, fighting against something. But they are both human. which means that both can return to the essence and recover, rebuild from scratch, heal, return to the center, recover the inner essence of their being, where all the potential of the human, art, music, lies, the letters, psychology, philosophy, spirituality, science, culture, everything is there. You can choose again. When you speak of essence but judge people by their personality, you have not understood what essence is. The Pope, the Queen of England, the President of the United States, the richest billionaire in the world, the poorest child in the world, the most consistent activist on earth, the defender of human rights, the school teacher, a father, a mother, in any country in the world, a newborn baby, they're all human. It is the essence, nothing else. Just as the flower is a flower, in the eyes of nature, the cosmos, God, or the goddess, whatever you want to call it, they are only humans and flowers. Me. That is why the universe does not judge, because the universe only sees the essence of things. The rest is temporary and modifiable from the potential of the essence. I am. The mask is the attribute chosen by each being to express its essence to the world. Some scream, others cry, others get angry. Each personality was designed from the experiences of what they want to tell. Each lived story is different. Imagine that your mask used to be a shapeless plaster cast, and for everything you live, do, feel, happen to you in life, you take a gouge, a razor, and carve a little bit a new shape. Over the days, months, and years, your mask will have taken the shape of everything that happened to you, not just one thing or idea that you had in a single day. It is like drawing a drawing over 80 years, each day adding a new line with different colors. It may not end up being what you expected. The personality that we see in people today was not formed in a moment by choice. Rather, it was the essence carving the mask for a lifetime. And if the being lives an incoherent and misaligned life out of harmony and resonance, the result will be erratic, distorted, and difficult to understand. Me, the essence then, is not something that is behind the mask of the personality, but the personality as an extension of the essence. I am. The essence contains everything that is, the potential of everything. And from there, it expresses, expands the necessary attributes for each circumstance. This is how personality is shaped. They are not opposites. The personality, the ego, are the tools that filter and generate information for the essence, like the tentacles of an octopus, like the branches and leaves towards the trunk of a tree. For this reason, the universe does not judge, but rather seeks a way for the essence to return to its axis. Me. So the task is not to leave the personality or go beyond it to return to the essence. But what is really important is to make the essence find its access through coherence. To do this, you have to re educate yourself. I am. That is called divine justice. One of the key themes of Libra is the justice putting everything in balance. Human spiritual justice rewards the essence and punishes the personality. Human social justice rewards the good and punishes the bad. Divine justice educates the essence, the being. For this is the only way for a possible rapist to recognize her pain and return to her childhood, to rebuild her life from the wounded child inside to a new human being. Only from there, the young man who laughs out loud will be able to face his fear, cry, get rid of the weight, and be able to laugh freely without hiding his pain. Real justice balances, harmonizes, seeks coherence, the education of the potential of being. Real justice never separates good from evil, never orders opposing groups, never takes away one to give to another, never punishes and rewards others. Me. Personality is the indicator of the flaws of the essence, or rather, it is the visible part of the expressed inconsistencies of the being. I am. They are the thermometer before a disease. Personality is the decoration and medicine, pollen and nectar of a flower, and yet, weathered or alive, it is a flower. Going back to the essence means remembering that beyond labels, projections, prejudices, what we think we are, or what others think we are, there's the starting point that connects us all, and from where we can regain our power to start over and bloom like every spring. Me. So I must find my essence through the attributes of my personality, since they are the paths that guide me towards it, towards what I really am, since the essence built what the world sees of me. And entering coherence, it is how I can transform myself from the essence. I am. Take off the mask, but not to throw it away, but to observe what your own hands have created. Smile at her, look in the mirror, and create a new mask from your essence. Me, is that my homework for today? I am. That's right. Draw your essence and design the mask with which you want to show yourself to the world. Only in this way will you be free from the personality, because now you know that it is you who created it. Now you know that you are the flower that emanates that perfume, produces this nectar, and radiates that color. Me, I am the essence that expands my personality. I am the justice that educates the essence to build a world of coherent people. I am a flower in an infinite floral garden.